What if I told you that some of the biggest names in boxing have been caught up in scandals involving each other's wives and girlfriends? From Floyd Mayweather being linked to 50 Cent's ex, to Amir Khan accusing Anthony Joshua of getting too close to his wife, here are boxers who slept with other boxers' wives: Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Josie Harris. When you mention legends in boxing, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is certainly high up there. He retired with a record 50-0 win and earned millions with his flashy performances and extravagant lifestyle. But there's a lot more to Floyd behind the fame and riches, as he has had several sordid personal scandals, most notably with his former girlfriend and mother of his children, Josie Harris. Floyd and Josie were together for a long and troubled time. In 2010, it got serious when Floyd was arrested and eventually incarcerated for attacking her in front of the children. Josie accused Floyd of being abusive and controlling during their relationship. Even once they parted ways, their problems weren't over. Josie stated Floyd never actually released her, and they fought for years. In addition to that, Floyd has frequently been surrounded by allegations of cheating and being involved with women who were already dating other boxers. Although not all rumors have been proven, his name is often mentioned when people talk about boxers who allegedly slept with other boxers' wives. That's why he is widely considered to deserve a place on the list of boxers who allegedly slept with other boxers' wives. Unfortunately, Josie Harris passed away in 2020, but not before she left behind a messy legacy. Although her relationship with Floyd had its high points and low points, it served to remind everyone that being a champion in the ring does not necessarily equate to being one in real life. Amir Khan and Anthony Joshua. Amir Khan, the Olympic silver medal winning British boxing sensation with speedy hands, was also embroiled in a highly publicized relationship scandal. Although he has gained global recognition for his ring skills, it's his private life that sometimes makes headlines more than his punches. Way back in 2017, Amir stunned fans after he accused his wife, Farial Makhdoom, of having an affair with heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. He took to Twitter to rant that Farial had been secretly exchanging messages with Joshua behind his back. The internet was set ablaze with responses. Fans could not believe what they were reading. Was one boxing champion stealing another boxer's wife? But the entire scenario proved to be a huge misunderstanding. Anthony Joshua promptly reacted in a light-hearted manner by posting a tweet with the words from the song, "It Wasn't Me." Farial also denied the allegations and stated the rumors were unfounded. Amir later deleted the tweets, apologized, and confessed he reacted too much. Amir and Farial reconciled later on, remained together, and even had more kids. Nevertheless, the harm had been done, at least to the internet. For some time, Amir's name appeared on scandal lists and boxers' wives getting involved with each other. Although the news proved to be untrue, the drama was so heated that people still speak about it even today. Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent's ex, Floyd Mayweather Jr., has no secrets from the world. But one of the most shocking stories was not about fighting at all. It was about him breaking up with rapper 50 Cent. Once, Mayweather and 50 Cent were the best of friends. They were always going everywhere together, getting interviews, going out, and even discussing opening their own boxing promotion business. But then, in an instant, their friendship disintegrated totally and quickly. Gossip began circulating that it wasn't merely business conflicts that were causing them to split. People began to gossip that Floyd had become a bit too friendly with one of 50 Cent's former girlfriends. Neither of them came out and confirmed what occurred, but both of them went on social media and in interviews to throw shots. Some pretty nasty ones. 50 Cent mocked Floyd's reading abilities, and Floyd shot back with insults of his own. It got so heated that their former close friendship became a full-blown feud. Although 50 Cent is not a boxer, the speculation that Floyd might have crossed a personal boundary with a woman from 50's history certainly pushed things over the line. Although this incident didn't concern another boxer's wife, it was dirty enough to place Mayweather's name alongside fighters who've supposedly entered someone else's love life. And with Floyd's extensive background of being connected to numerous women, sometimes simultaneously, it's easy to believe that lines may have been crossed. Shane Mosley and Jin Mosley. Shane Mosley, or Sugar Shane, was arguably the slickest of all boxers in his era. A retired world champion in several different weights, Mosley was famous for his lightning-quick hands and brash attitude in the ring. But in real life, that's where it got a little messy. Shane was also married to Jen Mosley, and the pair were at one time a power couple of boxers. She was intelligent, feisty, and usually there for his battles. But ultimately, their union broke down, and the breakup was not only acrimonious, but public and difficult. Insults were flying every which way, and Shane went so far as to accuse Jen of making off with his title belts during their divorce. But the portion that truly captured everyone's attention was what occurred following the breakup. Jen Mosley rebounded and began dating Tito Ortiz, a top UFC fighter. Although this wasn't another boxer, it still created controversy within the combat sports universe. Fans began discussing the stiff tension between Shane and Tito, given that both were renowned fighters with enormous followings. While Shane and Tito never really fought or even had a public altercation, the incident sure raised some eyebrows. It became one of those tales that found itself in the gossip columns and blogs of boxing. And while Jen was well within her rights to move on after divorcing, people just couldn't help but wonder what Shane felt watching another boxer with his former wife. So although it wasn't an instance of one boxer stealing another boxer's wife while they were dating, it was close enough to qualify for the list. The psychological burden of seeing your ex with another person in the fight business is as heavy as getting punched in the ring. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury are two of the sport's biggest stars. Both made heavyweight history. Tyson for his inconsistent fighting style and amazing comeback narrative, and Anthony for his chilled-out personality and devastating knockout capability. Yet beneath their mutual glamour, their relationship has consistently been tense with rivalry. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, has been in the news for his ring skills as well as his outspoken nature. He's famous for his mental struggles, his giant wins, and even his incendiary remarks. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua has been the epitome of professionalism, with a great reputation for staying cool and calm. But their rivalry has been far from cool. Fans have long desired to see them clash in the ring, but things have not always been smooth between the two. There have been whispers circulating for years about a more personal, deeper feud, although neither boxer has publicly admitted to crossing any serious boundaries with one another. There have been rumors circulating in the boxing community about family drama becoming involved. The gossip went viral that Fury and Joshua's feud could not only be boxing titles, it could also be related to relationships and family members. Some claim that Tyson had gone too far by separating himself from a person who is close to Anthony Joshua's inner circle, though such rumors were never established. The concept of boxers combining business with their personal lives is not new, but this scenario has fanned the flames between the two. Although no direct evidence has ever been produced to support these rumors, the possibility of a rivalry spilling over into personal domains such as family relationships makes this an unforgettable story in boxing. Adrian Bronner. Adrian Bronner is one of the sport's most colorful characters. With his flashy attitude, incendiary social media rants, and crazy antics, Bronner has generated as much attention for his drama as he has for his fighting career. With multiple titles in several weight classes, Bronner has shown that he's a skilled fighter, but it's his larger-than-life personality that tends to steal the spotlight. One of the reasons Adrian Bronner seems to always be in the headlines is due to his actions outside the ring. Whether he's trash-talking other fighters or posting brash statements on social media, Bronner enjoys creating drama, and because of this, rumors have trailed him for years. Individuals have made speculations regarding his affair with other boxers' wives, but none of these rumors have been entirely substantiated. Bronner himself has also been guilty of joking and bragging about his affairs with women, but nothing has ever been established in terms of cheating on other boxers' girlfriends. But Bronner's drama isn't about the women. He's about the kind of man he is. His history of causing trouble by agitating everyone ends up getting him questioned over what he's doing and whether he's talking or if he means it. He has had a string of legal troubles too, and has been surrounded by numerous controversies throughout his life. Everything only fueled the flames when it came to his alleged personal life gossip. Although some of the rumors regarding Adrian Bronner's relationships with other boxers' wives have not been proven, the drama surrounding him has earned him a spot among those boxers whose name always comes up in scandalous discussions. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is perhaps the most notorious and well-known boxer of all time. With his ferocious ring power and his capacity to knock out men in seconds, Tyson was crowned the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the age of 20. But his life outside the ring has been as dramatic as his bouts. Tyson's romantic life has been a roller coaster. His first high-profile public romance was with actress Robin Givens, and it was a failure from the beginning. Tyson and Givens wed in 1988, but they quickly divorced. Robin claimed that Tyson was abusive, which culminated in an acrimonious divorce in 1989. This divorce became one of the most publicized scandals in Hollywood. But what added to the situation's complexity were rumors that Robin Givens could have been dating another celebrity while they were together, Brad Pitt. Although there's never been concrete evidence that Robin and Brad had anything going on beyond being buddies, the gossip swirled for years. Even Tyson himself has suggested being betrayed by the circumstances, although he's never come out publicly and revealed any information regarding Givens' alleged affair with Pitt. What made it even more scandalous was the notion that Brad Pitt, the young hunk, had something going with Tyson's wife during the public breakdown of their marriage. Apart from this, Tyson has also been associated with numerous other women, with some of the rumors claiming that he got involved with other athletes and celebrities' partners. Oscar de la Hoya. Oscar de la Hoya, the golden boy of boxing, has had a mythical career. He became a household name after his Olympic gold medal win in 1992 and proceeded to win several world championships in 6 different weights. He was recognized for his speed, technical ability, and showmanship, which made him one of the most marketable as well as successful boxers of his era. But Oscar's career is not only famous for his boxing success, it's also riddled with scandal and controversy. Although he has been a man many have looked up to, his personal life has been as complicated as his career in boxing. One of the biggest controversies surrounding Oscar was his relationships with women, and particularly rumors of infidelity. Though he had no corroborated tales of having affairs with other boxers' wives, his name kept appearing when notable personalities with their romantic scandals have been discussed. Oscar has dated several women, and gossip pages have had a real field day recounting tales about his romantic encounters. But unlike other boxers who have been entangled in real love triangles or infidelities with other sportsmen's wives, Oscar has never had any proven relationships with other boxers' wives. In 2007, Oscar was again embroiled in another controversy that stunned the public. Private pictures of him wearing women's clothes emerged, creating rumors and jokes throughout the internet. Though this was a private issue and wasn't directly part of his career as a boxer, it was another piece in the complicated mosaic of Oscar's life outside of the ring. He subsequently revealed that he had had a struggle with drug addiction, which possibly accounted for some of the negative decisions and activities in his life. Despite the scandals, Oscar has still been a household name in the sport of boxing, both as a former champion and promoter. His participation in the sport has been just as impactful as his fights, and he's been a major player in the industry, although his life outside of the ring has had its share of drama. Oscar de la Hoya is still one of boxing's most respected names, despite some of his personal scandals still lingering in the background. Ricardo Mayorga. Ricardo Mayorga is one of boxing's most unruly personalities. He's as famous for what he says as he is for his punching. Indeed, he's more renowned for it. Mayorga, who was a welterweight and light middleweight champion from Nicaragua, was making headlines for spewing trash, chain smoking at press events, and generally doing everything in his power to rile his opponents. But something that particularly stuck out about Mayorga was how he blurred lines during promotion. During several interviews and fight promotions, Mayorga accused his opponents of stealing wives, cheating on their wives, or fooling around behind their backs. On occasion, he even said he had been with their wives. Now, were the accusations valid? That's the thing. We don't know. There isn't proven evidence, but Mayorga's arrogant declarations were enough to create genuine tension. He once got slapped during a press conference for making inappropriate remarks about another fighter's wife. He didn't care, however. It was all show business to him. However, fans and fighters alike began questioning whether or not there was any validity behind his accusations. Due to his outrageous nature, many wondered if he was speaking about this for attention or if he was indeed dishing about backroom, dirty secrets in boxing. Whether he spoke the truth or played games in his mind, Ricardo Mayorga's name has certainly been associated with the sordid life of boxers' wives, and he never hesitated to say it aloud. James Toney. James Lights Out. Toney was a former middleweight, super middleweight, and heavyweight champion who possessed one of the smoothest defensive games in the sport. He was talented, arrogant, and had as quick a wit as anyone when speaking. Toney was capable of backing up his talk with facts on his feet inside the ring, but outside it as well. He was infamous for throwing verbal blows. During interviews and press conferences, Toney frequently criticized other fighters, not merely for avoiding fights or being soft, but for stepping over personal boundaries. He had moments where he accused other boxers of going out of bounds in their private lives, particularly with regard to women. He never named names or provided details, but his tone indicated that he had inside information. These allegations would normally surface when Toney was hyping up a fight or just ranting about the boxing community. He did not have a filter, so when he was disrespected, he would speak his mind. He'd be discussing footwork one minute and throwing insults at someone for supposedly cheating with another fighter's wife the next minute. It was all part of his persona. Boisterous, combative, and willing to go to war with the next guy, people enjoyed him for his straight shooting, even if it occasionally tipped over into chaos. Whether he had inside information or was merely stirring the pot, James Toney's name still comes up when people are discussing boxers who weren't afraid to call out others for bad behavior, including things that might have occurred with someone else's girlfriend. Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs is one of the most flamboyant heavyweights the sport has ever known. He's infamous for his monster punches, booming energy, and particularly for saying, "Let's go, champ." The crowd adores him for his unapologetic nature and his ability to get people pumped up no matter the situation. However, behind the glitz and glamour, Briggs has also gotten himself into some serious drama, particularly when personal issues are concerned. At one time, Shannon suggested a competitor disrespected his wife, and that ignited a great deal of tension. He did not go into great detail, but in interviews and heated confrontations, he made it certain that someone crossed the line. That someone was assumed to be a competitor. Though Briggs never definitively confirmed the whole story, the manner in which he reacted spoke volumes. He was mad and willing to throw hands even outside the ring. This wasn't competition. It was personal. When a fighter mentions his wife or family, it generally means emotions are reaching a boiling point. And for Briggs, who has a volatile personality to begin with, this suggestion of betrayal just fueled his fire. Shannon Briggs has always been loud, proud, and unpredictable. He's the kind of guy who'll run you down at a restaurant just to get some fight hype going. He famously did that with Vladimir Klitschko. So when he said that someone disrespected his wife, fans sat up and took notice. It wasn't a full-blown scandal, but it was enough to land him on the list of boxers associated with the drama of relationships and rivalry. Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins is a boxing legend. He was a world champion in 2 different weight classes and became the sport's oldest world champion at the age of 49. He was nicknamed the Executioner and then the Alien, but the smart one would have fit him as well. He didn't merely win fights with his fists, he won with his brain as well. During his career, Hopkins never hesitated to speak his mind. He could psych out a fighter without ever landing a punch. He employed the press conference, interview, and face-off to break down an opponent mentally, and sometimes that involved touching very sensitive nerves. In a number of feuds, Bernard Hopkins made statements that suggested other fighters showed disrespect to him or his family. There were whispers of opponents saying something or doing something behind the scenes that wasn't acceptable, perhaps even about his wife or close friends. Once again, no affair or cheating was ever proved, but the tension existed. Hopkins presented himself as if he didn't accept any type of disrespect, particularly from the ones he opposed in the ring. His rivalries were never light. In the face of boxers like Joe Calzaghe and Jean Pascal, trash talking reached very personal levels. Hopkins was the ultimate at giving it the appearance of being something other than a sport. And you could only speculate whether or not his talk was foreshadowing things we weren't supposed to hear. Zab Judah. Zab Judah is a name one remembers in the boxing world. He used to be the undisputed welterweight champion and possessed tremendous speed, ability, and power. But though a great fighter in the ring, his name used to come up in drama outside of it as well, particularly when trash talk and personal rivalries were involved. During his time as a pro boxer, Zab engaged in several beefs with other boxers. A few of them originated from issues involving boxing, but they evolved to become very personal. At times, there were threats thrown and insults thrown beyond fighting technique or record. Even some of these feuds had rumors indicating relationships, women being a favorite pastime among those involved. Nothing was ever proven, of course, but the manner Judah responded during certain face-offs made fans believe something more had to have been at playoff stage. In this specific feud, tensions became so hot that Judah alluded to betrayal of someone's wife or girlfriend. Though he didn't name names or get into specifics, the implication spoke volumes. And in the world of boxing, where egos and reputations are on the line, even such a suggestion can be volatile. Zab was infamous for being hot-headed and fearless, and that mindset didn't end when the bell sounded. Whether he was in the ring or sitting down for interviews, he wasn't hesitant to speak his mind, even if it meant crossing a line into someone's personal life. That's part of what made him such an exciting and polarizing presence in the sport. Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie Malignaggi was a flashy boxer with fast hands, smooth footwork, and even smoother hair. He won world championships in 2 weight divisions and became nearly as renowned for his mouth as for his fists. Following his retirement from boxing, he turned commentator and continued to cause controversy long after he hung up his gloves. One of his most infamous controversies involved no other boxer. It involved MMA icon Conor McGregor. Paulie assisted Conor in preparing to box Floyd Mayweather Jr., but it didn't take long before things fell apart. Following a sparring bout, leaked photographs and videos popped up on social media featuring Paulie lying on the floor, with the implication being that Conor knocked him out. Paulie went ballistic and argued the clips had been edited so he would look foolish. But the drama wasn't over yet. Paulie and Conor started going at it in the press in a serious way, and things got personal quick. Paulie at one point implied that Conor had disrespected someone important to him, and fans immediately started speculating whether or not this meant something romantic or insulting. Though McGregor is not a boxer in the classical sense, the feud obfuscated boundaries between combat sports and fueled a lot of flames. Later on, there were also whispers that Paulie was involved in cases where he had dated someone who was previously associated with another fighter. Although again, nothing was entirely proven. Nonetheless, Paulie's name continued to be heard in the circles of boxing gossip. Not necessarily due to his fighting abilities or work as a commentator, but because he never stayed too far away from drama regarding women, insults, and rivalries. Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is most famous for his powerful explosions in the ring. Known as the Bronze Bomber, he's a retired WBC heavyweight champion who made news for his astonishing 42 knockouts. Whenever he climbed into the ring, fans were sure to see fireworks, and he most often obliged. Outside the sport of boxing, however, Wilder's name was also in gossip headlines, particularly when his personal life was concerned. Wilder has been dating Telly Swift, who was also on reality TV. They were engaged and frequently shared romantic photos online, flaunting their relationship. But like with most celebrity couples, drama began circulating. Wilder was once rumored to have had other people getting too close to his fiancée. Although no concrete evidence ever materialized, and no individual boxer was ever mentioned, the rumors were sufficient to generate online buzz. Notably, Deontay never actually got officially attached to sleeping with another boxer's wife. Still, in boxing, where egos are enormous and competition goes deep, even the smallest rumors have the potential to become big stories. Even just the mere insinuation that something fishy was going on can fuel feuds, front-page headlines, and fans picking sides. For Wilder, most of the drama involved shielding his relationship from outsiders and not being the source of the problem. All the same, his brash personality and dauntless spirit certainly earned him a place in the list of most gossiped about boxers of this era. Even if he is not known to have gone beyond with another person's girlfriend, his name somehow makes it to these hot topics. David Haye. David Haye is a British boxing legend who rose to fame in the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions. He was a world title holder and was famous for his quick punches, nimble feet, and smooth mouth. But if you thought his battles in the ring were the only thing that was getting headlines, think again. His life outside the ring took a crazy turn that had everyone, boxing enthusiasts to gossip websites, raising their eyebrows. In 2023, David Haye was at the center of one of the strangest relationship gossip in boxing history. It began when fans spotted him hanging out with not one, but two women, Una Healy, a singer with the Saturdays, and his long-term girlfriend, Sian Osborne. The pictures, posts, and public outings gave the impression that the three of them were in a polyamorous relationship. Haye never precisely denied it. Indeed, he dropped hints regarding living life the way he pleased and not paying attention to what other people thought. That only made the rumors larger. People began speculating that some of the women in the triangle had connections to other sportsmen and even boxers. Even though nothing was proven regarding David Haye dating a fellow boxer's girlfriend or wife, the fact that his name was mentioned in such an unorthodox arrangement certainly raised quite a few eyebrows within the boxing community. Boxing is riddled with alpha personalities, and any situation that even appears to be another fighter's woman involved can result in serious tension, even if it wasn't necessarily about stealing anyone's girlfriend. David Haye's free-spirited relationship choices created discussions regarding boundaries and respect among athletes. Some fans appreciated his candor, but others were not so impressed. Either way, David was now a part of the debate about boxers who may have crossed the line, wittingly or unwittingly, when it comes to romance.